The moment you open your mouth to explain yourself, you have already lost. Picture it. The accusation lands, a subtle jab at a dinner party, a questioning of your skills in a meeting, a partner twisting your words. You feel the heat rise in your chest, the stress hormones spike, your brain screams that you are being misunderstood, that the truth is being warped, and that you must fix the record right away. So you speak, you clarify, you justify, you offer context, and in that exact second, you have handed them your life. Because the world does not judge you by the truth of your words, it judges you by the desperation of your delivery. The person who explains is the one who gives in. The one who defends is the one who accepts the other person's power to judge them. Niccolò Machiavelli, the expert of power dynamics, understood a harsh truth that modern society has tried to remove from you. He knew that power is not about being right. It is about who holds the frame, and the moment you defend yourself, you step into their frame. You become the prisoner in their courtroom. But what if you didn't? What if when the attack comes, you did the one thing that scares a manipulator more than anything else? Most people go through life as emotional puppets. They are pulled by the strings of other people's opinions. Someone frowns, they apologize. Someone accuses, they explain. They live in a constant state of reactive defense, trying to prove they are good, smart, or worthy. It is a miserable way to live. It is a slow death of the spirit. But there is a different way, a way of moving through the world that is so detached, so independent, and so mentally strong that insults do not just bounce off you. They vanish before they even touch you. This is not about being cold. It is not about being arrogant. It is about a basic shift in where you get your reality. Today we are going to study the psychology of the non-defense. We are going to look at why your body fails you in these moments and how to change it with a strategy that Machiavelli would have whispered to a prince. I'm going to show you how to flip the power balance instantly, how to make the attacker doubt their own mind, how to use silence not as an absence of noise, but as a weapon of great force against someone's ego. But be warned, this requires you to kill a part of yourself that you have been feeding since you were a child, the part of you that begs to be understood, the part of you that needs permission. If you can kill that need, you become dangerous, you become untouchable. Let's begin. So why do you do it? Why, when someone challenges you, is your first instinct to provide proof of your innocence? It starts in childhood. Think back when you were 5 years old and a parent or a teacher accused you of something. What was the only way to escape trouble? Explanation. I didn't break it. It fell. I didn't hit him. He hit me first. You learned that authority figures hold the power of judgment. And you learned that your survival depended on convincing that authority figure that you were good. The problem is, you grew up, but your mind didn't. You are walking around the world putting that authority figure onto everyone you meet. Your boss, your partner, the stranger on the internet, even your enemies. When you defend yourself against someone, you are secretly saying, "You are the judge, I am the child. Please accept my plea so I can feel safe again." It smells of weakness, and human beings, natural as we are, can smell that scent of submission from a mile away. Machiavelli wrote, "It is much safer to be feared than loved." Now translate that to modern social habits. It is much safer to be respected than understood. When you rush to defend, you are choosing being understood over being respected. You are saying, "Please get me, please see my intent." But a king does not explain his laws to the peasant. A lion does not explain its hunt to the gazelle. The moment you start talking too much, giving reasons, showing texts, or bringing up past events to prove your point, You have shown that your inner peace depends on their agreement. You have given them the key to your house, and once they have that key, they can ruin the place whenever they want. This is the trap of the seeking self. You believe that if you just explain it clearly enough, they will say, "Oh, I see now. You are right. I was wrong." How often does that actually happen? Almost never, because the attack was never about the facts. It was about the power. They didn't accuse you because they wanted the truth. They accused you to see if you would jump, and you jumped. The first step to becoming untouchable is to realize that the courtroom does not exist. There is no judge. There is no jury. There is only you and your view of reality. When you stop treating other people like judges, their accusations stop sounding like sentences. They start sounding like opinions, and opinions are just noise. So what happens when you don't jump? Imagine the scene. Someone throws a verbal attack at you. You're being incredibly selfish right now. The old you would say, "No, I'm not. I did this and that for you yesterday. I'm just tired." That is defensive, weak, and reactive. Now, imagine the Machiavellian approach. They say, "You're being incredibly selfish right now." You look at them, you hold eye contact, you don't blink, you keep your face completely still. You let the silence hang in the air for several seconds. Do you know what happens in that silence? It is a mental vacuum. The human brain is terrified of silence during a fight. It signals a break in the social rules. It signals that the other person is not playing the game. When you stay silent, you are reflecting their energy back at them. You are forcing them to sit in the tension they created. Usually, they will start to break. They will speak again to fill the gap. I mean, you're not always selfish, but just right now, why are you looking at me like that? They start defending themselves against your silence. The power has flipped. This is the gray rock method taken to a higher level. You become a void. A void cannot be attacked. You cannot punch mist. You cannot cut water. By refusing to provide the fight of a defense, you cause their attack to pass right through you and unbalance them. This requires huge inner control because inside your ego is screaming, "Fight back, say something smart." You must control that urge. Machiavelli knew that the most powerful person in the room is the one who cannot be read. If you defend, you show your values. You show what hurts you. You show your buttons. "I'm not stupid," you shout. Now they know your fear is intelligence. "I'm not a bad person." Now they know your fear is your character. Silence shows nothing. It is a dark mirror, and when they look into it, they only see their own anger reflected back, and it makes them uneasy. It makes them feel judged, which is funny because you haven't said a word. Sometimes silence is not enough. Sometimes the situation needs words, but never defensive words. If you must speak, you never push back against the force. You pull it. You use the flow of conversation. There is a concept in dark psychology called agree and amplify. It creates a state of confusion in the attacker. If someone accuses you of something silly, defending yourself makes the silliness seem real. It suggests the accusation is serious enough to need an answer. Instead, you lean into it. You make it bigger until it becomes a joke. Attacker, you are so obsessed with money, you're greedy. Defensive you, no, I'm not. I just want to provide for my family. Boring, predictable, weak. Machiavellian you caught me. I actually swim in a room of gold coins like a cartoon character every Tuesday. It's terrible for my back. You say it with a flat face or a small smile. What have you done here? You refuse to be insulted. You proved you are not worried about the topic. You turned their serious attack into a joke. You showed that you are the one in charge of reality, not them. This takes the weapon away from the attacker. They wanted to hurt you. Instead, you took their knife and started peeling fruit with it. It shows calm mastery. Calm mastery is the ultimate state of high status. It is the attitude of a parent watching a child have a fit. You don't get angry at the child. You don't argue with the child. You are amused by the drama because you know you are safe. When you defend yourself, you are getting down on the floor and screaming with the child. Don't do that. Stand up. Look down. Smile. Robert Greene in the 48 Laws of Power talks about Law 25, recreate yourself. Part of that is refusing the identity others try to give you. When they label you, they are trying to put you in a box. If you fight the box, you are still dealing with the box. If you make fun of the box, you destroy it. You're arrogant. I prefer the term very confident, but sure, you don't care about anyone but yourself. I'm working on it. I'll add you to the list of people I care about next year. It is sharp. It is dismissive. And it is very attractive. Why? Because it shows you are whole. You do not need their approval to know who you are. A person who knows they are kind laughs when called mean. A person who knows they are smart laughs when called dumb. If you are defending, it is because deep down you fear they might be right. And that is the inner work you must do. Let's go deeper into the logic of the interaction. Every talk has a hidden structure. In a fight, there is usually a judge and a defendant. The judge asks questions. Why did you do that? What were you thinking? Who do you think you are? The defendant answers, I did it because... Whoever is asking the questions holds the power. Whoever is answering is losing status. The most effective Machiavellian trick is to simply refuse the role of defendant and take the role of judge. You do this by answering a question with a question, or by looking at their behavior instead of your own. Them. Why are you always so late? Defensive you. There was traffic and my alarm didn't go off. Losing. Machiavellian. You. Why does my arrival time affect your mood so deeply? Boom. Do you see the shift? Suddenly, we are not talking about the clock. We are talking about their emotional state. We are talking about their reaction. You have put the light back on them. Them. You're being ridiculous. Machiavellian you. What makes you feel the need to use labels like that to get your point across? You are analyzing them in real time. This is very annoying to a manipulator. They want you on your back foot. Instead, you are walking around them, looking at them like a bug in a jar. It's interesting that you see it that way. Does saying that make you feel better? You seem very focused on this. These phrases are shields. They recognize the sound coming out of the other person's mouth, but they do not accept the content. It is a border, a verbal wall. You are saying this is your problem, not mine. Keep it. This is not just a trick. It is a spiritual stand. It is the realization that other people's views of you are none of your business. Their anger is their problem. Their disappointment is their duty to manage. When you defend, you are trying to carry their heavy emotions for them. You are trying to fix their feelings. Stop it. Let them carry their own weight. Now, for the twist, sometimes the most aggressive, power-flipping move you can make is to agree, but not the way you think. This is not the agreement of giving up. It is the agreement of the void. Imagine someone is screaming at you. They are listing your flaws. They are trying to start a fight. You look them in the eye and say calmly, "You're right," and then you stop talking. "You're right. I am difficult sometimes. You're right. I did mess that up." This is the fogging method. When you throw a rock into a bank of fog, what happens? Nothing. No sound, no bounce, it just disappears. When you agree with an attacker, you steal their energy. They are pushing against a door, expecting it to be locked. When you open the door, They fall on their face. They want a fight. They want resistance. Resistance makes their anger feel valid. Agreement cancels it. But here is the detail. You must agree with the truth in their statement without accepting the shame they are trying to put on it. There is a difference between admitting a mistake and accepting an insult to your character. You messed up this report, you're useless. Defense, I'm not useless. The data was wrong. Power move, you're right. The report has errors. I'll fix it. Notice what was left out. You didn't address the useless part. You ignored the insult and spoke to the fact. You took ownership of the action but not the label. This shows great confidence. Only a person who is sure of their skills can admit a mistake so easily. Insecure people fight to the death to prove they didn't make a mistake. Secure people say, "Oops, my bad," and move on. Machiavelli would call this disarming the enemy. If you put down your sword, they look silly holding theirs. It takes the wind out of their sails. It makes them look wild, and you look stable. And in the long run, history is written by the stable ones. None of this works if it is just a trick. If you are using these lines, but your voice is shaking, or your eyes are moving around, or your energy is begging, please. Like me, it will fail. Dark psychology is 20% words and 80% non-verbal signals. You have to build the inner strength to support the silence. This brings us back to the shadow. Why does it hurt when they attack you? Because they are touching a wound that is already there. If I tell you you have green skin, you won't get mad. You'll think I'm crazy. You won't defend yourself. You'll laugh. But if I tell you you are a failure and you defend yourself, it's because a part of you thinks I might be right. The ultimate defense is not a verbal trick. It is self-knowledge. It is looking into your own darkness, owning your own flaws, and accepting your own shadow. When you know you are capable of being selfish and someone calls you selfish, you say, sometimes yes. When you know you can be mean and someone calls you mean, you say, I can be. You cannot shame a man who has already accepted himself. You cannot expose a woman who has nothing left to hide. This is what it means to be untouchable. It means you have combined the parts of yourself that others try to use against you. You become clear. The light passes through. The arrows pass through. You are no longer a fort that needs defending. You are the wind. So here is the challenge. For the next 7 days, you are going to play a game. The game is called no defense. No matter what happens, no matter how small the accusation, you are not allowed to explain yourself. If you are late, say, I'm late. Do not give the reason. If you spill the coffee, say, I spilled the coffee. Do not blame the cup. If someone misunderstands you, let them misunderstand you. Sit in the heat of that discomfort. Feel the urge to fix it, to control their view, to be the good person, and let that urge burn away. Watch what happens to the people around you. Watch how they act when you stop playing the game. You will see confusion, then respect, then a strange kind of attraction, because people are drawn to certainty, and nothing shows certainty louder than a person who does not need to explain why they exist. You are taking back your energy. You are fixing the leaks in your soul. You are stepping out of the role of the child and into the role of the ruler. The world will try to pull you back. It will try to trick you. It loves a reaction. Don't give it one. Keep your mystery. Keep your power. Keep your silence. If this way of thinking speaks to the darker, deeper part of your mind, the part that is tired of acting for others, then you know what to do. Subscribe, but not because I asked you to. Subscribe because you are done being the hunted in a world of hunters. Since we are continuing with this philosophy of moving from a prey mindset to a sovereign mindset, we can look at how to handle the aftermath of your silence. Often, the hardest part isn't the silence itself, but the social pressure that follows. When you stop explaining, people will try to use guilt to pull you back into the courtroom. They might say you are being difficult or cold. This is just another attempt to get you to defend your character. If you say, "I'm not being cold, I'm just setting a boundary," you have lost. You have stepped back into the frame. Instead, you must realize that being difficult is often just the word people use for someone they can no longer control. Your silence is a filter. It pushes away people who only liked you for your theater of explanations and draws in people who respect your strength. You are no longer providing the emotional labor of making everyone else feel comfortable with your choices. This saves an incredible amount of mental energy. You can then use that energy to build your own life rather than managing the opinions of others.